Hello, my name is Rosanna Aponte, and today I will be discussing virtual reality. For brevity's sake, I will also refer to it as VR. So what exactly is virtual reality? Virtual reality is commonly defined as an experience in which a user remains physically within their real world while entering a virtual world, comprising three-dimensional objects and using a headset with a computer or a mobile device. If you're like many people, the first thought that comes to mind when you hear the term virtual reality is games. However, VR is used for a number of other uses and in a host of settings. It's used in classroom instruction, surgery, exposure therapy, architectural designs, and more. It's used in healthcare, where VR assists surgeons in performing delicate surgeries or to treat hospital patients experiencing chronic pain. VR is utilized in various educational settings where instructors can introduce concepts to students in an innovative way. VR is even being used in medical schools where students practice surgeries virtually before applying their skills to actual patients. The military employs VR for training exercises, which gives cadets a chance to learn in a realistic combat scenario while allowing them to do so in a safe environment. Increasingly, library makerspaces are including VR equipment. Instead of checking out a book on a subject, patrons can learn about the topic in a virtual environment. Architects can create three-dimensional models and virtually enter the physical realm of their building designs, which allows them to gain a better understanding of the interior space in addition to the exterior. VR can be experienced with standalone, console, or PC virtual reality. Headsets are worn and handheld controls enable users to fully interact in their virtual environment. There are numerous VR vendors. A few of the heavy hitters are Oculus VR, HTC, Samsung, HQ Software, and Microsoft. Information agencies have discovered they can provide another avenue for acquiring information by implementing VR. Instead of learning in a two-dimensional format, VR allows users to learn three-dimensionally. Art and science museums can offer digital exhibits to their patrons so they can view and interact with them in a virtual universe. Academic librarians introduce VR to faculty and explain the benefits of incorporating VR into curricula. In addition to absorbing information, students experience what they're learning through full immersion. Public libraries host events and other community gatherings to introduce patrons to VR. Patrons can go on virtual educational tours to famous landmarks around the world. Museums, public libraries, and academic libraries have all cited common challenges. Staff has been reluctant to implement or utilize VR. Reluctance can stem from high costs of purchasing VR equipment and lack of internal funding for implementation and sustainability. Hardware ergonomics is another issue, since VR requires adequate space for use and to store equipment. Lack of expertise is another factor. Finally, staff members may be unaware of the technology or its benefits. While information agency professionals acknowledge the pros of implementing VR, they also realize the challenges. According to an article written in the scholarly journal Information Technology and Libraries, Despite decreasing VR costs and a growing understanding of the potential benefits of the technology, there's still concern in the library field about cost and sustainability. One field VR is gaining ground in is psychotherapy. According to peer-reviewed psychology journals, VR has shown great success when used in exposure therapy to treat phobias. Therapists have also seen positive results from patients with post-traumatic stress disorder. However, as with information agencies, VR in psychotherapy has encountered similar challenges. In an article published by Psychiatric Quarterly, the authors noted that the equipment, physical space, and computer science expertise required to use an immersive room is currently a significant deterrent. In the business world, companies have used VR for meetings and workshops. But just like information agencies and the field of psychotherapy, employees are often reluctant to participate in the metaverse. An article on the website Gizmo cited a survey that found employees are more resistant than their employers when it comes to using VR in the office. One can conclude VR is here to stay for the future. While there are challenges that still need to be resolved, numerous fields are realizing VR's far-reaching benefits, and that demand will only increase. To learn more about VR, check out these resources.